Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz. Now we're going to take you to the Capitol. You can listen right there. Here in Arkansas, demonstrators participated in the National Day of Protest by holding a rally on the steps of the state capitol. Organizers told the crowds to exercise their rage over the potential overturn of Roe versus Wade by taking action at the ballot box. A Defend Roe protest is also scheduled on the Capitol steps tomorrow at noon. And thousands of protesters organized Saturday to voice outrage over the possibility that the Supreme Court could overturn that Roe versus Wade. And that was across the country. So Steve Dorsey has more from Washington.
From New York to Los Angeles, from Chicago to Fort Worth, Texas, and all the way to the Supreme Court, thousands took to the streets across the U.S. Saturday to rally for abortion rights.
We're fighting back to take control of these rights.
And the thing is that so many people who I know, everyday people, they feel scared, they feel helpless.
Clinics are already reporting that the right wing is protesting and making it harder for people to get access to an abortion.
Demonstrators in the nation's capital marched from the Washington Monument to the Supreme Court.
This is ridiculous. You can't have 13-year-olds having babies because the Supreme Court says that's okay.
A security fence went up around the court after the leak of a majority draft opinion indicating the justices are poised to overturn Roe versus Wade.
If the Supreme Court acts as it plans and takes a sledgehammer to the constitutional right for an abortion, it will be ignoring its own precedent and the majority of what this country wants.
This small group of counter-demonstrators behind me here at the Supreme Court call it a human rights issue as they prepare to celebrate a long-awaited and possibly historic decision for them.
I think it's wrong to say, hey, that person's different, that person's too young, that person is 2 cells, they're not a human being yet, when scientifically, yes, they are. They are a life at conception.
If the court strikes down Roe versus Wade, about half the states are expected to ban abortion outright. Protesters are looking to carry the energy of Saturday's rallies into November's midterm elections. Steve Dorsey, CBS News, Washington.
And this week, Senate Democrats failed to gather enough support to codify Roe versus Wade into nationwide law. So that was in case the Supreme Court overturns it. Now we're going to go to weather to see what's happening here at home. Corrales?
Well, we've been watching some bouts of some showers and storms starting off our weekend, even early this morning. We want to take a live look right now on the radar, and we are seeing just a few pop-up showers and storms to our north. It's mainly confined to, it's mainly isolated at this moment, and we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Stone County. That's until at least 6:30, and some of these storms have been known for producing some hail in excess of 1 inch in diameter, even gusty winds over 60 miles per hour. So that's the only warning we have at the moment. Otherwise, it's been another hot and humid day. Not as hot as our last several days of record-breaking highs. It's still currently 87 here in Little Rock, feeling like it's in the upper 80s. We were mainly in the upper 80s for today. A few cooler spots to our north thanks to the showers that had kind of pushed on through. So in the meantime, we'll continue to clear out as we go into later tonight. It's going to be another warm one. I'll be talking about another bout of some showers and storms in your forecast to end the weekend. I'll have a look at that coming up.
We now have a tragic update to a story that we've been following all week. Police in Fayetteville say they found the body of a missing Conway woman. 28-year-old Shelby Ratliff's body was found yesterday in a creek. Ratliff had been missing for just over a week. She was last seen on Dixon Street, and Fayetteville police say they believe she may have drowned. She disappeared right as severe weather hit that area. So of course we'll update you when we have more information. And the community of Hot Springs is still searching for answers after a graduation turned violent on Thursday. 1 person died and 3 others are still recovering after gunshots were fired outside the Hot Springs High School. Hot Springs crowd and officers returned fire. Johnson left the area but was arrested at a nearby hospital shortly after. He's being charged with 1 count of first-degree murder and 3 counts of first-degree battery. Investigators say one victim, 39-year-old Michael Jordan, died from his injuries. The other 3 victims are expected to be okay. The officers that fired at Johnson are on paid administrative leave right now as the Arkansas State Police continue their investigation. At least 10 people are dead following a mass shooting in an upstate New York supermarket. Buffalo police say the suspect is now in custody, and witnesses say they saw a man in army fatigues and boots shoot outside the top supermarket, then walk in and open fire. Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown says the city is grateful that the shooter's in custody, but they're still grieving.
We have suffered a mass shooting with multiple casualties and several people injured. This is the worst nightmare that any community can face, and we are hurting.
The investigation is still ongoing, and there's still no word on the identity of a suspect or a motive. And the manhunt continues for an escaped prisoner in Texas. Officials say Gonzalo Lopez, he's on your screen right now, overpowered a prison bus driver and stabbed him. Lopez was last seen running across a field in a rural area about 2 hours north of Houston. Prior to his escape, Lopez was serving a life sentence for murdering a man with a pickaxe. If you have any information or see this man, you're asked to contact police. Here at THV, we are election central, and so a THV 11 viewer reached out to us with a question about specific ballots, and we're answering it tonight. The viewer told us that when they went to early vote, they were asked which party's ballot they wanted. They chose nonpartisan, thinking that meant they could vote for independent candidates. But it turns out that's not exactly how it works. Remember, in a primary, you can only vote for one party's ballot, and your options are Democratic Party, Republican Party, or nonpartisan ballot. And you can only vote for judicial candidates if you have that nonpartisan ballot, since judge races are nonpartisan. The election official records which ballot you choose. And don't worry, that doesn't change whether you're registered with the party or not. You could easily request a different ballot in another 2 years. And if you need any sample ballots, they're available online. And we made it easy for you. You can get all of your voting information by just texting us. Text the word VOTE to 501-376-1111, and we'll send you directly a link with more voter information. While the school year is almost out for summer, for retiring Little Rock Superintendent Michael Poore, school's almost out forever. Students, teachers, and school administrators came together this morning to send off Mr. Poore. But it wasn't just any send-off. The whole thing was a surprise. The band played, cheerleaders performed, everyone gathered at the admin building to wish their best in his upcoming retirement.
I did see something on my schedule, but I had no idea. I thought it was like going to be a little, maybe something small with my staff or something. To have this kind of thing is it's just mind-boggling. I'm at a loss.
Poore will retire at the end of this school year, and he'll pass the torch on to Dr. Jamal Wright to be the new LRSD superintendent. If you want to learn more about Dr. Wright, his interview is also on our website at thv11.com. And today, the Scottish Rite gathered at the Albert Pike Memorial Building to celebrate a 100-year milestone. They commemorated the laying of the original building cornerstone, which was placed this month back in 1922. People who went today got to see a reenactment by master masons. Freemasons have laid the cornerstones for lots of important public buildings in America, including the U.S. Capitol by President George Washington, a Freemason. And right now, hundreds of people in Pine Bluff are gathering in Regional Park for the city's Forward Fest. The festival is Go Forward Pine Bluff's largest event of the year. Organizers say the city is the hub of the Delta, so this event allows people in the community to come and really celebrate with food and music. Leaders with the organization are focusing a lot on safety too, after last week's fatal shooting in that same park. Go Forward Pine Bluff says enhanced security is a top priority.
And so that's why we run the program the way we do, with having security check, before the people actually get onto the charter bus. That way we remove people being able to bring their personal vehicles into the park, and that way we can reduce the opportunity for something negative happening.
And things started at 6, so just a few moments ago. And tonight at 10, we'll tell you why some people in the community say the event is more than just any annual festival. And still ahead, the Verify team is back tonight, and they're taking on questions about a stomach virus. Our case is on the rise. We'll tell you in just a bit. But first, Corrales.
Well, we weren't nearly as hot as what we've been dealing with record-breaking highs these last several days. We do have some changes coming this weekend, including the chance for some strong to severe showers and storms in the forecast to end the weekend. Look at that forecast is coming up.